him to shut the fuck up. And we were all making the same amount of noise. In fact, we didn't really hear much from him.
But Elliot was the only one by himself.
Yeah, I saw the guard tackle him, hit his head against the ground, and that's the last I saw of it. Then 13 guards swarmed him. What did you guys see?
I was just jumped on him, had him face down on the ground, his arm behind his back, and they were slamming his face in the ground. And after about a minute, yeah, about 10 of the guards came in. They were all standing around, and all of a sudden, I can't fucking make any assumption, but he was definitely screaming like...
For about 15 minutes, and then there was like a 5-minute silence. There wasn't anything.
Yeah.
And then he was dragged out and he was screaming again after that.
Yeah, bleeding from his head quite profusely from what we saw. He couldn't hardly move. And
yeah, they had him hogtied, like his arms behind his back, and then they had both legs spread out. So they had him like this, face down, carrying him out.
Like every person in that cell block knew what was going on.
Yeah.
They took me in. Then took me into the hallway and put a bag over my head that and I could not see. It was slightly transparent, but it blurred my vision, and it had a gag around the mouth. I'm gonna faint. I don't know what's happening. And then I vomited in this bag. They refused to take the bag off of my head.
Police you saw on television were mostly faceless, hidden by helmets and gas masks. But when we finally saw their faces, we saw men and women who were much more than cops dressed in black. They were well trained and prepared to do a tough job. So it is in the opinion of the owners of KSTP that we owe a debt of gratitude to all of the police officers on duty during the Republican National Convention.
The people stand inspired, always forward, never tired. A steel wall 20 feet tall divides two states. On one side, a corrupt racist government. On the other side, a corrupt racist government. Both with militarized police. Caught between, separated together, the poor people of the world, both rejected by the state, willing to fight, to resist from each side of the iron fence. This wall stretches far into the distance, but also reaches into the minds and souls of the people. Wall of depression, wall of death, muerte. The long dead help to push the living dead up and over this wall of death. Let me out, let me in. The people cry out in unison, in unity, in solidarity against the state on any side of any border. We march in unison towards a common goal, a place of autonomy, a camp, an occupation of our own, a place where the state does not want us, a place of truth, an action camp. At the end of this wall, the end of all walls.